A very good afternoon and warm welcome to our respected speakers, our and principal lecture innovation by Dr. Surendra Kumar. Ecology block. Welcome you all this popular lecture. Now I would like to invite Dr. Satanand Mishra, Principal Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, and Coordinator CSIR program. Participants, this please, sir.
Thank you, Shivani. A very warm good afternoon, one and all, to this popular lecture series and student scientist interaction program organized by CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. Our director, Dr. Abneesh Kumar Srivastava, is busy in the important meeting and he conveyed best wishes for the program and blessings for the students. A very warm welcome to our speaker, Professor Bipin Vyas. Professor Vyas is a Dean of Life Sciences and Faculty of Barkulla University, Bhopal. Professor Vyas is an eminent researcher and academician conducting many extension activities for awareness, conservation, and protection of biodiversity and natural resources, and constantly engaged in knowledge sharing and citizen science program. We are grateful to him for accepting our invitation and becoming a speaker of today's event and ready to deliver an excellent talk on river ecology. River ecosystems are flowing waters that drain the landscape and include the biotic interactions amongst plants, animals, and microorganisms, as well as abiotic physical and chemical interactions of its many parts. It's our pleasure to have you, sir. A very warm welcome to our another speaker, Dr. Surendra Kumar, Senior Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, India. Dr. Surendra is a young researcher. He is dynamic, enthusiastic, and hard worker. His research area covered electrochemical additive manufacturing process, electrochemical energy storage devices, electrochemical water splitting. Dr. Surinder is going to deliver an excellent talk on nanotechnologies, properties, applications, and recent innovations. I again welcome to you, sir. I warm welcome to Mr. Somi Srivastava, Deputy Commissioner, Bhopal Region, and Mr. Ashok Kumar Misra, Assistant Commissioner, Raipur Region. Sir, your presence and coordination highly motivated us. I warm welcome to Deputy Commissioners, Assistant Commissioners, Principals, Teachers who are connected virtually here. I warm welcome to students who are young minds and future scientists of the nation connected among us. Dear students, this program is organized for you and its enhanced scientific knowledge and temperament. I warm welcome to all who are connected with us. We all have assembled here today to motivate and cherish the young minds and future scientists under the CSIR Jigyasa program. CSIR Advanced Materials and Processes Research Institute Bhopal is the one laboratory of CSIR in the state of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. CSIR-AMPRI, well known for advanced and noble materials laboratory across the country and worldwide. Jigyasa, also known as CSIR Jigyasa program, an initiative taken during the Platinum Jubilee year, which came as an inspiration by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of New India and Scientific Social Responsibility (SSR) for CSIR. The objective of Jigyasa is to extend the classroom learning by focusing on well-planned research laboratory-based learning for school students. The Jigyasa program, thus initiated on the directive of Honorable PM in CSIR Society meeting. CSIR Virtual Lab is an extension of CSIR Jigyasa program. The successful launch and abundance interest towards CSIR Jigyasa resulted in setting up the virtual lab. Due to pandemic, students could not visit the lab to get value-added research exposure by scientists. CSIR adopts 295 Atal Tinkering Lab established by Atal Innovation Mission nationwide aims to spur STEM-based research and innovation interest in students, leveraging its scientists and labs. CSIR nominated top research scholars and scientists who are mentoring each of the ATLs and acts as resource person. AIM and CSI are also conducting a series of webinars for students on various topics related to scientific and technological concepts, ideas, or societal issues. Our Dadan DG CSIR Dr. Shekhar Simande says it is a very interesting milestone in the history of CSIR to be able to reach out to the young students of the country. CSIR has always been connected with the people of India through its innovations, science and technology, and through its flagship Jigyasa. Jigyasa program has connected to more than 3 lakh students in the past few years. This partnership with AIM offers to opportunity to expand our connect to the student community even further. To CSIR Jigyasa, CSIR-AMPRI reached to 152 Kendriya Vidyalaya schools of Bhopal, Jabalpur and Raipur regions and 113 Jawahar Navodaya School, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Odisha state covered under Navodaya Vidyalaya Samit, Bhopal region, 100 state government schools and approximate 100 other private schools. CSIR-AMPRI provide mentorship of 15 ATL established in the schools of Madhya Pradesh through CSIR Jigyasa program. CSIR-AMPRI facilitate near about 1.25 lakhs students and teachers in different programs till date. I once again welcome to all. Now I request Shivani to introduce our speaker, Dr. Surinder Kumar. Shivani.
Thank you, sir. A very warm welcome to our respected speaker, Dr. Surendra Kumar. So, Dr. Surendra Kumar is presently working as a senior scientist in CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. His research area are electro from Emperor at National Taiwan University, Taiwan in 2016, and MSc from Guru Jambeshwar University, Hisar, India. Dr. Surendra has published around 37 research papers in various. He is supervising several PhD and project associate. 5 projects is supervised under his guidance, funded by SERVS and DSC India. Now I invite Dr. Surinder Kumar, presently working as a senior scientist, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, to deliver his talk on the topic nanotechnology, properties, applications, and recent innovation. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Shivani. I'll be sharing slide now. Shivani, can you make me as a presenter? My slides are visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon to all of you. So, today we will be discussing the nanotechnology. This is a growing field, not very new, but many things has developed in the recent past. and in all the fields of the research, people are using the nanotechnology concept, and many product has come based on the nanotechnology. So let us start the presentation. This is not a new concept because the development is new, but the concept is not new. There are 7 SI unit, like length. Length is the one of the SI unit. If you change the dimension of any material, the property of the material will change. So in this today's presentation, we will be discussing only one parameter, that is length, and length is one of the SI unit. And for this talk, the whatever measurement will be considering, that will be nanometer scale. So mostly, like, what are the property will change if we change the length of the material, like the size of the material, or what are the thing called like benefits we will get when we change the size of the materials. So it was all started when the Michael Faraday was working in the laboratory. He was dealing with one of the gold foil actually. So he was crushing the gold foil for some particular application, and he left the foil for some other work, and he forgot to in a solution. But next day when he observed the gold foil, that some of the gold actually particle leaks out in the solution, and color of the next day when he observed, the color of the solution changed actually. That time he could not understand, but it was the solution of this least gold particle inside the solution. It was giving some optical property. So that time he given that solution as a red ruby solution, or we call it ruby red solution. So it has optical property because of the presence of the gold particle in the solutions. But that time the concept of the nanotechnology was not developed. So slowly the concept has developed, and then the particle size of the gold particle dispersed in the solution was discovered, and then people have discovered what kind of optical property will change when different particle size of the your gold will disperse in the solution. So in this image you can see how this one different colors will generate if the based on the gold particle. This is one of the ancient picture in Lyricus cup. This one cup was there in the Europe, where that it was coated with the different materials actually, with different gold and silver coating was there. If you light from the outside, like inside, the green color will observe, but if you light from the outside, the red color will observe. So these two optical property, different optical property will be observed for a materials. So this is also effect of the nanotechnology concept, where the nano, like very thin metal film is coated on the glass inner and outer side. So then if we see the dimensions of different things, so like if you take the 7 hydrogen atom, the size will be somewhere 7 nanometer. Your DNA double helix structures, the width is about 2.5 nanometer. Your red blood cells were somewhere about 7,000 nanometers. Your A4 size paper sheet somewhere 75,000 and nanometer. Your pin head, actually the size is somewhere 1 million nanometer wide. Your hairs, human hair, is somewhere about 50,000 to 1 lakh nanometer size. So this is the dimensions of which is around us. And when we measure these dimensions in nanometer scales, we can see how the variation, how the parameter will change, and respective to that one, how the property will change, that will look in. So people used to earlier people were using the sulfide nanocrystals to dye their hairs actually. So that was nothing but the colors of the dye will change after some time. That was also one of the nanomaterial product actually. Then people have come up with the concept of the gold nanoparticle, different colors and optical property of the golds. Then the concept of the nanotechnology was came in 1959 when one of the professor Richards has given one famous talk. That there is a plenty of the room at the bottom, and he given at ICT this presentation, and it become so famous. After that, many people have started looking at the lower size particle. Then when Japanese scientist has coined, like when given the term nanotechnology, and then the concept of nanotechnology has started growing in different direction and different, like to scale, like check the see, because most of the nanotechnology concept is evolving at the atomic and molecular level. So people were started looking at the equipment which can actually see the change at atomic and molecular level. Then IBM developed the scanning tunneling microscope to see the atom and molecule at a very low scales actually. Then buckyballs at the Rice University has developed. Then many concept has developed later on. So how to define a nanomaterial or nanotechnology? There are three conditions is there. So one main condition is anything, because any material has three dimensions, x, y, z, in a Cartesian coordinate. So any dimension, either x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis, should be in the range of 1 to 100 nanometer. That is the one condition. Another condition is that it should have, like at molecular and like at atomic and molecular level, we should able to do the manipulation actually. If we are not able to do the manipulation at atomic and molecular level, the respective property will not change. So if it is possible to change at atomic and molecular level, so then we can able to see the change in the property. Then only we can say that the product is nanotechnology product. This some of the size in this table we can see, like water molecule is size of a water molecule is 0.1 nanometer. Gold may be up to 10 nanometer. Virus may be 1 micron. Your hair can be 100 micron. Different size of the things are. So some of materials we call as a nanomaterials actually. So any materials which fall in this range 1 to 100 nanometer, we call it as nanomaterials actually. So let us see these two examples actually. The DNA I was telling, it is double helix structures. This width is, sorry, it is around 2 to 2.5 nanometers in this we can call, but human hair we cannot call because the size is 10 to power 5 nanometer. It is not falling in the range of 1 to 100 nanometers. These are some of the another product, these examples of which is available in the environments as an environmental particle, like water, hemoglobin, virus, microbial cells, protozoa, like fullerenes, pollens. These are the size of the different these environmental particles which is around us. So some of them can be fall in the nanotechnology product range. Then, like if you have ant and flea, so their size is different. When we see through a optical microscope, we will have different images, and their size is somewhere in range. So we cannot call them that they are falling under nanotechnology product. Then if we see the like fruit fly, eye of a fruit fly, it will look like in this sense. So the aim is to, why I am just explaining these examples, aim is to see at a atomic and molecular level, and that is happen through a particular equipment, either light microscope or electron microscope. So the first thing is to see whether through light microscope, like optical microscope, what how the existing thing will look like actually. If we see through, when we are sure the material is very small, we cannot see through naked eye or a optical microscope, then we have to go for a electron microscope. Then we have to characterize a material. The aim, like we are aim of the things is to develop different material, type of material. Then after synthesizing different type of materials, we have to look their property. Before look their property, we have to characterize, like categorize the materials in different categories, like 0D, 1D, 2D, or 3D materials. Like 0D, which is like xyz direction in less than 100 nanometers. 1D materials, either material is grow in the x-axis or y-axis or z-axis. It is like a some kind of a nanobar, nanowires, or tube or ribbons which is grown in a one direction, either x-axis, y, or z-axis. 2D materials which is grow in x and y, two axes, any either x or y. And 3D material, most of the 3D materials, it is difficult to categorize under nanomaterials, because some of these are not falling in the range of 1 to 100 nanometers. So we have to see very clearly whether the materials is falling in this length scale or not. Then their basic property will change. If you spread the materials, the first thing which is changed is surface area. If you cut down the material at a very atomic and molecular level, the surface area will increase. If the surface area is increasing, so what will happen, that first thing which is come in our mind, like the catalytic activity will change. So more surface area will be, more surface energy will be there. If the more surface energy is there, it will help for the catalytic process. Like this one example is there, like if you want to do the reduction of carbon monoxide in the oxidation of carbon monoxide in the presence of oxygen at the gold surface, if the gold particle is very small, so the surface area will be very high, the surface energy will be more, so this process will happen at very low energy. So that is one advantage. Another is, many product we are using in our daily life, like antibacterial property. If some cut is there on our fingers or hand, we put some kind of a bandage. That bandage is nothing but the silver doped material actually. So that is to avoid to growth, any kind of a bacterial growth on the cut actually. So there we use it like silver nanoparticles for antibacterial properties. Hardness of the material will change if the size of the material is changing, then band gap will increase. Then if some material has band gap, it can be used for the solar cell application. Electrical property will enhance, and subsequently the magnetic property also will increase actually. These are some of the applications. I will not go detail that. These are the different fields where the nanotechnology products are using, like energy, defense, metallurgy, electronics, optical engineering, biomedical, agriculture, cosmetic, biotechnology, and textile. These are some of the fields. I will just explain few examples how like different type of materials are used. You might be seeing that the very thin layer of the silicon is used for the solar cell application. Nowadays people are trying to wear that some kind of a flexible device on their hand. These are all made using supercapacitor or batteries. So these materials are very thin. So these materials are actually nanomaterials which is coated through either vapor deposition or selective laser vapor deposition or atomic layer vapor depositions. So various very techniques are there at very atomic and molecular level. These materials are deposited and then the device is fabricated. So the main aim is to deposit the material in a nanoscale actually. Then how the batteries and work. So this, because we are using our mobiles on daily basis, we are charging and discharging. So lithium cobalt oxide is one material which is using, that is nanomaterials actually. Graphite is used in the batteries. So on daily basis we are charging and discharging our battery and capacitor. So that's how like different type of materials are used, and there's all nanomaterials are used in our lithium ion battery. Then technology for solar cell applications. Many devices are actually transparent actually nowadays. These flexible devices are very transparent. So we cannot even see what is the thickness of a material actually. So difficult to, because there are few nanometer range. So we cannot even judge by the neck dye what is the thickness of a materials. But like the dye sensitized solar cell is one examples where the dye is coated on it, and when solar light will fall, it produce the electrical current actually. So these are some of the examples. Then it has application in sensor transformation, wire and cables. It has many people are using glucose sensor in their house. So glucose sensor, where the very thin layer of the electrodes are coated on that one, and what we do is we put one drop of our blood to check the glucose level in our blood actually. So this is nothing but nano sensing, or finding out how much glucose is there in our body, in our blood actually. So we check the level of the glucose, and that is the checking. It is nothing but a electrochemical process, but the fabrication of your strip where the glucose is checked, it is through a nanotechnology concept. So this whole process is known as nanosensing component actually, and it has multiple application in transformation, because one particular type of a liquid actually is used to store the energy. So that liquid actually dispersed particles are there. So there that nanotechnology concept is used for that. Then you may be aware that the size of a transistor is reducing day by day, because every chip is reducing. So according to the Moore's law, actually the size number of the transistor on a particular chip is double in every 10 years actually. So because of the development of the various nano fabrication techniques, the device size is actually reducing, and the more information we can store through this one. Then some of the, you might have seen how your LCD screen is look like nowadays. Your nanotubes, carbon nanotubes is used to make the LCD screen. Earlier we used to have this fluorescent tubes were used actually. This cathode ray tube is no more now used for the in your TV. Nowadays, based on the nanotechnology concept, like carbon nanotubes are used, and very transparent thin film of the LCD are made, and they are very advanced actually for the current uses actually. Then it has multiple application in medical actually. So I will not go detail of this one. I will show you some examples where actually nanotechnology concept are used actually. This is one which is used for that one hummingbirds, one device was there which is made in the US actually. It has nano sensor are used, and when nano camera is attached in this one. So what happen is there in this case, they can actually visualize some area, different areas, and it can actually fly like a bird, because small kind of a battery and capacitor are also fixed, and small very thin camera is also fixed in this device. So it can fly in the air with any height, and it can actually measure the do the imaging of a particular areas. And interesting point is weight was very low. So this weight of this particular device was 19 gram only actually. Then it has nowadays people don't want to wash the clothes on regular basis. So uh, many different type of coating is there on the clothes. So these different type of coating, even people are trying to produce the electric current from the body through your textile, whatever clothes we are wearing. So their particular electrical circuit is attached with the clothes, so that whatever body change is there, the thermal energy of the body, through that one they are trying to create the energy through that one. So different type of through textile we are actually coating different type of nanomaterials over it, and then using that one we are trying to generate different type of properties. So you can see, like if we do some kind of a coating, so it can use for UV blocking, you can has the strength, wrinkle free cloth you can produce, water repellent cloth you can produce, and antibacterial cloth. Like if you do the coating of copper or silver, it will be antibacterial clothing. Then if you do some kind of a zinc oxide coating, so water repellent can be achieved. Like this type of things is there. Then nanotechnology concept are like, what are the evolution has come. The one main evolution is the development of a vaccine within a 6 month actually. So I will show you what are the examples actually. Different type of vaccine was available in the market. Like Pfizer was there. Pfizer is nothing but a lipid nanoparticle of messenger RNA vaccine. This Moderna vaccine was there. This is also messenger RNA. This is also one type of a nanoparticles. Then Sputnik was there. This is also based on the nanotechnology concept. All these type of which is actually this some kind of a where the nanotechnology concept was used to produce different type of a vaccine actually. And these vaccines are produced developed in a very short period time. Then how to diagnose a person, diagnosis has changed. Different type of electrochemical sensors are available to check either cancerous cells or different type of cells, or maybe SARS cells can be detected through your different type of a sensors are available, and sensors, different type of biosensors are there, where you can actually detect the your virus or your cancer cells. Then how RT-PCR is done, I will not go detail of this test. Then this also nanotechnology concept are involved. First you have to extract the RNA, and after that one you have to do the DNA replication, and then you have to check the signaling of that one. Then different type of techniques are there then to check the progress of that. Another concept that different type of a coating is done on your mask actually. So this coating is actually done to avoid the your virus to enter your nose. So very thin coating is done. So the pore size was reduced so that the mask, your COVID virus will not enter your mask. That was the main aim. So different type of a uh, antibacterial coating was done to avoid the viruses. Then in agriculture, different type of chemicals are actually added to the soil so that the growth of the plant can be enhanced. So that is another area of the research where people are actually using different type of nanomaterials, adding in the soils to improve the growth of the plant. Then this is another few examples where people have used the lignin seed actually. So this from the lignin seed they have extracted this carbon fibers actually. So from the natural product you can actually extract the carbon fibers. So and carbon fibers nothing but a nanomaterial product. It can find, it has huge application in the market. Then another product which is actually developed at Denmark Technology University, what they have done, they have actually made a Christmas tree of a 10 very few nanometer size. Actually, few atoms are deposited, and then this size of this one, it has terahertz properties there in this one. Terahertz is different fields, but property of the material will it will enhance the property of a particular sensing. So this is the another development in the nanotechnology. Then artificial vision ad, people are working in this field. This is the last examples where what is the use of the nanotechnology product. You might have seen the people are while playing the cricket, they are using some different type of a screen actually, sunscreen they are using. So in sunscreen, zinc oxide and titanium oxide generally is mixed in that one. And antimicrobial uses, many people are using the silver coating actually to avoid different growth of a bacteria. And then sugar salts are used where that actually the iodine, sodium iodide or potassium iodide is used to give the amount of the iodine in your food. Then different type of a coating is coming on your cloth. So for to achieve the different type of property like water repellent, UV absorption, non-static, anti-static or antimicrobial, different type of coating is there on your player. Then nowadays people are actually adding the carbon in sports equipment to reduce the weight of the your equipment actually. So the your badminton rackets weight has reduced drastically by adding the carbon nanotubes or carbon samples. Then your carbon quantum dots are used to produce different colors in the light. You might have seen blue light, red light. So different type of materials are used. The carbon quantum dot is used to produce the like blue light in that one. So with this one, I will end it here. If you have question, I will be happy to answer. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, over to you, Shivani.
Thank you, Dr. Surinder.
Yeah,
Shivani.
most welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful and informative talk. Let me share some glimpse of this session. Dr. Surinder started the session by introducing the concept of nanomaterials and history of nanotechnology. Further, he discussed about the examples of environmental nanoparticles and different dimensions of nanomaterials such as 0, 1, 2, and 3 dimension. Further, he explained about properties of nanomaterials with suitable examples and applications in solar energy systems, sensors, transformers, biotechnologies, displays, and many more. Further, he explained about hummingbird nano air vehicle and in textiles. He concluded the session by discussing innovation in nanotechnology, such as in COVID 19 vaccines and different types of biosensors for COVID 19 diagnosis and daily life use of nanotechnology, such as in clothes, sunscreens, and many more. Thank you, sir, once again. Moving ahead, a very warm welcome to our respected speaker, Professor Vipin Vyas. Currently, Professor Vipin Vyas is the Dean of Life Science Faculty, Barkatullah University, Bhopal. He supervised many doctoral, MPhil, and master's students in the field of aquatic ecology, habitat, and biodiversity. He did his master's and PhD in limnology. He has published more than 100 articles in reputed international and national journals. He worked on many national and international projects as principal investigators sponsored by government agencies. Apart from teaching and research, he is actively engaged in administrative activities of university. He is also conducting many extension activities for awareness, conservation, and protection of biodiversity and natural resources, and constantly engaged in knowledge sharing and citizen science programs. Now I invite Professor Vyas, Dean of Life Science Faculty, Barkatullah University, Bhopal, to deliver his talk on the topic river ecology. Please, sir.
For giving me this opportunity. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But my voice is actually echoing in my system.
But here is clear, sir. No echo we found here.
Okay. It is echoing in my system.
Yes, sir. But here in the
Okay, okay.
Your voice is clear, sir, in our end.
Pardon?
Your voice is clear at our end.
At your end it is clear, but here it is echoing. I don't know why.
sir, you may again connect with this.
Okay. But let me start, then we'll see. Although it is very difficult, but still. Hello. Yes. Okay. Now I have muted my speaker. Okay. So, thank you very much once again for giving me this opportunity to interact with the different types of audience. I think teachers and students from school and colleges have joined this group. Uh, and the earlier lecture was very interesting. It was on nanoparticles. And right from nanoparticles, now I'll take you to the nature. And today we'll be discussing about the river ecology. Let me share my presentation. I think, am I co-host? Because I think this is not permitted here. You can't share content unless a host.
Yes, sir. Okay, just repeating.
Mishra ji, please make me either
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
co-host or a presenter.
Okay, sir.
Presenter will be better actually.
Sir, after presenter,
Okay. I think it is visible now.
yes, sir. It will use.
So, as I told you that after taking a look of nanotechnology, we'll move to river habitat, how the rivers are flowing in the on the whole sea or earth planet. See, we all might have visited rivers and we have seen rivers in many dimensions, like some small rivers may be flowing around you, or you might have seen large rivers like Narmada, Tapti, Yamuna, Ganga, and many other large rivers are there. So, how these rivers are flowing? Are these rivers simply flowing water, or they have life also? So we'll discuss how these rivers are, they are living entity, because our Supreme Court has also recognized the rivers as living entities. So let us see how these rivers are, we can consider them as living entity, and how they make the others to live, because they are giving support to the whole population in terms of water, in terms of livelihood, in terms of fishes, uh, and many other ecosystem services they are providing. So let us see how these rivers are living on this earth. So you might have seen rivers, and you might have seen canals also. Canals are, linear flowing water originating from a large dam or reservoir. But rivers are not, they are linear, but they are not straight always. They meander around in the landscape, and then they meet the ocean. So, what a river, what makes a river? There are two banks, and water flows in between these two banks. So, this is the dynamic nature of the river. How the rivers are formed? That is very interesting. We have seen many large rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Tapti, Krishna, Godavari, Kaveri, so many large rivers. We have 12 large rivers in India. See, here you can see on this screen, you can see there are two small rivulets. These are known as first order streams. When water falls on the earth, it starts flowing on the slopy terrain, and these small rivulets are formed. When two small rivulets join together, they form a second order stream. These are first order stream. Like two second order streams, they join together and form third order streams, and likewise. So this is the see, this is the connectivity of the rivers with the small rivulets, and these small rivulets, when they join together, they form second order stream, third order stream, fourth order stream, fifth order stream. And the large rivers we are seeing today like Ganga, Yamuna, and Narmada, they are from 10 to 12th order streams. So you can consider that if large river is flowing in the landscape, it is made up of small rivulets like first order streams and second order stream. So every stream, every small stream, whether it is first order stream or second order stream or third order stream, it is equally important to make the river live. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to for a river to survive. We might have seen, those who are of my age, they might have seen that in our childhood days, we have seen many small rivers, they are flowing even in summers. But nowadays, many small rivers, rivulets, they dried up just after the monsoon. So they have become seasonal streams, and these seasonal streams are actually damaging the large river systems. So if we want to conserve a river, we should focus better on the smaller streams like first order stream, second order stream, third order stream. And if you are residing in an area, this is the take home message of today's discussion. If you are residing in an area, try to identify that how many small rivulets are going around, moving around your area, your school, your college, your home. And you will find that in, although they are present in rainy season also, because they are seasonal small streams. So if you consider these streams and start observing them, and try to identify what are the problems related with the smaller streams, you will be able, and we will be able to save larger rivers also. So this is how the larger rivers are formed, by joining the smaller streams. You can see here in this map, You can see this blue line, thick line is a river. This is Narmada River actually. And you will see very small, very thin hair-like structures are you can see in this map. Color-wise or design-wise, this is very good design, but this design is made not by any human. This design is made by nature. These are the small streams. You can see here these streams are coming, and you can see if you see the if my cursor you can see my cursor on the screen. See these small streams are coming from the landscape, surrounding landscape. They are making a slightly bigger stream, then it again joins a slightly bigger stream, and finally they join the main river. So like this, if you analyze the watershed of any large river, you will find this type of structure in an area. So you can see here, if this Narmada river is getting polluted, this is because of these smaller streams. They are bringing silt or pollutants from the surrounding area. So this is how a large river is connected with its catchment area. And this catchment area, any activity in this catchment area, any pollutant you generate in this catchment area, through this smaller rivulets and smaller streams, this pollutant finally enters the main river. So this is how this catchment area is very important for conservation of any river. You can see how this catchment area is important. You can see in this map, there are different colors. See, again, the river Narmada is there, and same the uh, surrounding catchment is there. You can see some area is covered with green color, some with yellow color, some with some other color, some pink or red color. Why we are giving color to these areas, to these landscapes? Actually, this landscape or this catchment area has different type of land use. Land use means this green area shows that this is covered by forest. This yellow area shows that this area is covered with agriculture. This red area shows that this area is covered with human habitation. These small red areas, they are actually smaller villages. This large red area or pink area, you can see this is Hoshangabad town. So you can see what type of catchment, what type of land use is there. If suppose this small stream is coming from this area and this stream is coming from this area, you can imagine the river which is coming or the stream which is joining the river Narmada from forest area. This will bring pure water, good quality water. On the other hand, the river which is coming from the agriculture area, it will bring pesticides, agrochemicals, silt. So what should be the land use of the catchment area of a river? It should always be forested, less human habitation, less human interference. That is the only mantra of conserving the river or any water body. So this is the land use pattern of the catchment area. You can understand with the help of this map. Now we'll discuss some other important aspects also. Like you have seen any river and canal also. Canal is always a straight, as I already told you, that canals are more or less they are straight. But rivers actually meanders. They have zigzag type of flow. You can see in this in this map you can see that this Narmada river is coming and there are folds and turns and meanders in the river. These turns and folds and meanders actually make the river alive. Because of these meanders and turnings and folds in the river, it provides habitat to various types of biodiversity and plants and animals and smaller organisms, which actually keep the river clean. Suppose there is a canal and there is no animal or no plant in the canal, its water will start uh, rotting because there is no animal to clean it. Actually, these animals and plants which are found in the river, they during their life cycle, they help the river to flow and they make the river clean. So they are very important. The biodiversity is very important in a river. So by meandering in the landscape, by folds, by turnings, these rivers actually provide different types of habitats, variety of habitats. heterogeneity of habitats, so that different type of organisms are found uh, in these rivers to make them clean and make them flowing. So this is very important. So next time whenever you see a river from a landscape, in a landscape from some elevated point, you try to identify that whether this river is going straight or it has some folds in it. If it has some folds and turns and meanders, definitely it will be very rich in biodiversity. So this is very important. Sometimes we don't understand the importance of these very small points in river ecology and environment and nature. So this is these are some of the important points I want to discuss. Then if we see ecological integrity, how can we say that this river is good, or its water is good, or this river is healthy? As when we fell sick, sometimes doctors send us to pathology lab, and some pathologists perform some test on our body or with the sample or blood or so. So likewise, there are certain parameters. With the help of these parameters, we can identify that whether this river is healthy or not. There are some physical parameters, there are some chemical parameters, there are some biological parameters. So physical parameters actually, what these physical parameters, they are heat, temperature, light. These are some of the important physical parameters which actually uh, maintain the light penetration in the river, so that river become productive. And similarly chemical, some chemicals are very important, like there are some gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, some gases are there in the water which help the animals to survive in the water. Likewise, biological component of, or biological parameter of any river, that is also very important. So by combining physical, chemical and biological properties of any water body or any river, we can assess, with the help of these parameters, we can see whether this river is healthy or not. So we'll discuss in brief how we analyze these parameters, and how you can also assess the some of these parameters you can assess, and you also can assess the health of the rivers and streams around your area, around your school, around your college also. See, these are some of the chemical properties as I told you earlier. And these are the biological components or organisms which are actually found uh, in any river or in any water body. You might have seen, because we are on online mode. If it is offline, then I can discuss you it at length also. See, you might have seen many tanks and ponds and reservoirs and water bodies, and many of the water bodies, they actually look green in color. Why they look green? Because the surface of this water body is full of algae. This algae is free floating small organisms which are actually tiny plants, like Dr. Surendra told you, nanoparticles. These are, you can consider them as nano plants. They are very smaller plants, and they impart green color to water because they contain chlorophyll. So these algal particles or algal cells, they give green color to water. These are known as plankton, as you seen here in the list of biological properties. Plankton. Actually, these organisms play very important role in the river ecology. Then comes periphyton. You just visit a lake or a water body, and with all safety, you pick a small stone from the water body. You will find it is covered with smaller organisms or some algal blooms. We call it kai in common language. We call it kai. It is पत्थर पे काई लगी हुई है. So this kai is what actually, it is again the same algae which is attached to the substrate. Either you pick a stone or a a wooden piece of wood which is submerged in the water. Anything you remove from the water, you will find some sort of growth on it. That is known as periphyton. It plays very important role. I'll tell you how these organisms are very important in river. And if we remove all these organisms from the river will become a dead river. Okay, benthic organisms. If you take the same stone I referred you earlier, if you pick the stone, you will find small insects are there. They are not very good in see appearance. Sometimes we hate them. You pick a stone and you find a small worm is moving on the stone. You will throw the stone again in the water. Sometimes we are scared of it. But yes, these are benthic organisms, and these benthic organisms are actually unsung heroes of the whole river ecosystem, because they actually recycle the whole organic matter present in the water body, and they keep the river clean. They help to keep the river in a cleaned condition. So you should have sufficient number of benthic organisms in water, in sediment, and in the substrates found in the water body. Then comes fishes. We all know about fishes. We might have not seen all these periphyton, plankton, and benthic organisms, but we have seen fishes. Fishes are also very important creature in the water body. Actually, they provide us very, they are rich in protein and many other nutrients and minerals, and they provide us very cheapest source of human animal protein to the humans. And they are also a very good source of livelihood for poor fishermen population, tribal population of far-flung areas where the river is flowing. But at the same time, many of the fishes sorry, you may find more than 15 to 20 types of varieties of fishes in a water body in a river, and all these fishes have different types of feeding habitats. Some feed on the surface, some feed in the column, some feed in the some of the fishes they feed in the bottom of the water body. So in this way they have divided the whole river resources into different niches, and they occupy their own niches. They don't fight as we fight normally. They don't fight. They have their own areas. They don't move to other area. So in this way they also help to clean the river, to keep the river clean river. So fishes are also very important. See what I am telling you about the to keep the river clean, this is known as ecosystem services. There are two types of services these natural resources are providing. One is economic services, which we all know that we drink water from the river, we get drinking water from the river and all these things. But at the same time, these small organisms, they provide ecosystem services, and ecosystem services are those services which are not economically important. They don't give us any monetary benefit, but yes, they help in keeping the system running. They help to keep the river clean. You may seen you might have seen some small grasses or weeds growing after this rainy season. We normally consider them as weed and we remove them, but they also have some ecosystem services. They help in nutrient recycling on the earth. Birds are also very important. Birds are actually, they are the top consumer in the river ecosystem. They feed on the smaller organisms and fishes, and they help to control these smaller organisms in the river. If suppose birds are not there as top consumer, the whole river will be filled with these organisms only. So they help as biological control in the river, and also they sometimes they make a nest in the river, in the surrounding area of the river, and they breed there also. So birds are also very important. Sometimes we find, particularly in the winter season, we find birds, migratory birds. They are coming from different areas. They spend their winters here, because in some areas winter is very harsh. In our area winter is not that harsh, so they come here, they visit here our area. So in winter season, if you go to any water body, you will find different types of birds, but if you go in summer season, you will not find them. This is because the migratory nature of the bird. So these are some of the biological properties of river. And if we are finding all these types of animals in a water body or in a river, definitely the river is considered to be a healthy river. But if you are not finding any of the organism in the water body, definitely its health is impaired in some or the other way. Then you might have seen the rivers. Some of the rivers, they are flowing very slowly, very coolly they are flowing, but some are flowing very, rapidly. So if you see a water body or a small river or a stream coming from the upland areas, in the elevated areas from a hill, you will find, so that river flows actually with the lot of noise. So this is because of there are certain structures in a river body, and these stones and rocks, they actually hinder the flow of the water, that creates sound. So these are known as, आप लोगों ने बहुत सारी कविताएं पढ़ी होंगी जिसमें कल कल करती नदियों के बारे में कहा जाता है, कल कल करती। जब भी कवि, whenever a poet writes a poem on a river, it it always says that कल कल करती नदियां, हमेशा वो पोयम कहती है कि कल कल करती नदियां। कविताओं में जिक्र होता है कि बहती नदियां, कल कल करती नदियां। तो ये जो कल कल करती नदियां हैं, ये एक्चुअली, ये साहित्य में तो बहुत अच्छे से वर्णन किया, बट हियर ऑल्सो साइंटिफिकली दीज streams which are flowing with voice, they are considered to be healthier one, because these riffles, smaller stones or rocks, they actually help to move the water, so that the oxygen which is present in the air, it gets dissolved in the water, and water after this riffle, water is more oxygenated water, which is very helpful in for the animals which are present in the water body. So riffle in a river is very important. If a river doesn't have a single riffle, definitely its health will be badly affected. So riffles are very important. Second, you might have seen some rivers, they are moving very slowly. If they are moving slowly after the riffle, it means this is a run or glide area where the flow is very smooth. That is also very, it has also some ecological importance. So why I am showing you all these things? Because these are scientifically proven areas in the science of rivers. But yes, a common man like you and me can also identify a river with the help of these science. If these things are there, if riffles are there, pools are there, glides are there, it means the river is healthy river. See, pools, some pools have some rivers have deep pools also. आपने सुना होगा किसी नदी में बहुत गहरा कुंड होता, कुंड कहलाते हैं। कई नदियों में भीम कुंड, राम कुंड, सीता कुंड के नाम से हमारे धार्मिक आस्थाओं से जुड़े हुए कुंड होते हैं। वहाँ मेले लगते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें वहाँ पे गतिविधियां चलती हैं। एक्चुअली दीज pools are also very important. If a river, sometimes it is very shallow, sometimes it has deep pool. So the sequence of different habitats, shallow, deep, fast flowing, slow flowing, so एक combination, अगर आप एक 10 किलोमीटर का एक स्ट्रेच ले लें किसी रिवर का, और उसमें आप अगर ऑब्जर्व करने जाएं कि इसमें कितने रिफल्स हैं, कितने डीप पूल्स हैं, कितने रन्स हैं, तो वो इक्वल सीक्वेंस उसका होना चाहिए। ऐसा नहीं कि द होल 10 किलोमीटर हैज no riffle or no pool, so it indicates that the river is not healthy. तो अगर if there is a deep pool in the river, it has its own importance, because it gives, during the summer when the shallow area of the river dries up, the whole fish biodiversity, it gets refuge in the deep pool. वो deep pool में पूरी इकट्ठी हो जाती हैं मछलियां और दूसरे एनिमल्स। और जैसे ही पानी वापस आता है नदी में आफ्टर रेनी सीजन, इट अगेंस्ट अटेन्स द ओरिजिनल structure of the river. These fishes move in the different areas. So these deep pools are very important. So in a river, we should have riffles, we should have runs and glides, and we should have pools also. This makes a river a healthy river. Substrate is also very important. You can see in this picture, if it is visible clearly on your screen, you can see that there some leaves are there. These leaves are coming from the surrounding trees. Some larger rocks are there, some boulders are there, some pebbles are there, and sand is also there. This is the riverbed. These different types of substrates, actually, they join together to make the substrate of the water body of the river. This substrate also play a very important role. If we have variety of substrate in a riverbed, it provides variety of habitats to different types of micro habitats to different type of organisms, because a fish needs a larger area, but a very small insect of a few millimeter or few micrometer, it requires very small areas to live. So these stones or rocks or substrate of different sizes, they provide different types of habitats. And even if you see this, I will show how this leaves which are coming from the surrounding trees in the river, in a water body, in a stream, how they are very important in the river ecosystem. See, here you can see, if you just put your both the feet in the water body, you will feel there are some stones, some pebbles, some smaller pebbles, sand or mud. So these are also very important substrate materials, and they also help the river to make it a clean river, to make it a constantly flowing river. So this is also very important. So whenever after attending this beautiful workshop organized by the AMPRI, after attending this workshop, whenever you go to field, whenever you go to visit a river, you try to identify what type of substrate is there. Is it homogeneous or it has different types of substrate? So with your own observation, you will understand that this river is, whether this river is healthy or not. If you find only mud there, this river is not healthy. It should have some sand also, some small boulders also, some larger rocks also. These variety of substrate makes the river healthy river. Then you might have seen a large woody सी एस बहुत सारी नदियों में किनारों पे बड़े बड़े पेड़ होते हैं, और आपने देखा होगा बड़ी आंधियां चलती हैं तो पेड़ नदी में गिर जाते हैं. तो समटाइम्स वी फील दैट दीज ट्रीज विच आर falling in the river, these they are creating some hindrance in the river flow, but no, they are also very important. They actually create microhabitat. They are known as woodlocks. They create microhabitats for many organisms. If you try to remove this woodlock from the water body or from the river, or if you minutely observe this woodlock, you will find it provides habitat, it provides home, it provides shelter to many smaller organisms, which we normally we don't observe them because they are not very beautiful like fishes and birds, but they are also very important in the river ecosystem. They are ecologically, they are very important. So these woodlocks, they are falling by nature's activity in the water body. They also play very important role in the water body. Leaf pecks, again, I'll show you the slide which where you will find leaves which are coming from surrounding areas. These leaves also they help in providing food to many organisms living in the river ecosystem, and also after decomposition they release nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, and this nitrogen and phosphorus actually help the algae to grow in the river, which is again act as food for many fishes. So this is the cycle, this is the material cycle, how this organic matter is coming from the surrounding area, it is coming in the river, it is after decomposition, it is releasing, see, nutrients in the water body, it is providing habitat to, again, if you pick a small leaf, I think there is a okay, so if you pick a small leaf from the this water body, you will find smaller organisms, smaller insects, smaller worms on the leaf surface. So it provides habitat also for smaller organisms. Dr. Mishra, if I am exceeding the time limit, please tell me, because it is already very late. So if I am crossing the time, please tell me.
5 minutes, sir,
Okay,
please.
okay, good, good, good. Thank you. So these are some of the important. Then in the this picture you will see, you will find that this stream has trees on the its margin. आपने देखा होगा बहुत सारी नदियां बहती हैं, उसके किनारे पेड़ होते हैं, घने पेड़ होते हैं, और कुछ नदियां ऐसी होती हैं जहाँ पे बिल्कुल पेड़ नहीं होते, काट दिए जाते हैं. So if the river banks are having dense trees or dense forests, it is supposed to be a very healthy river, like you can see in this picture. And this surrounding area or surrounding strips in a river, it is known as riparian buffer zone. That is very important. That also plays very important role in the conservation of the river or a water body. I'll very quickly move. See, you can see in this picture, there is a river flowing like this in a zigzag manner, in a meandering manner with turns and folds, and dense trees are there surrounding this river, and then agricultural land is surrounding. So there is a barrier between this river and the agricultural land. These trees actually serve as filter, they help in filtration of the water which is coming from the surrounding area. So this riparian zone is also very important. Then we have already discussed, see, these are some of the aquatic insects. They are also found in the water body. They spend, you can see here, they spend half of their life cycle in water body, and half of their life cycle they spend on the terrestrial system. So in this way, they also help to keep the river clean, to keep the river healthy, and they maintain the balance, ecosystem balance in the water body. So they also play very important role. Here you can say these are the adults, these are the, see, larval and egg stage, pupa, egg, larva, pupa. These are the stages of uh, life cycle of any aquatic insect. See, this is how we collect the different types of organisms from a water body to analyze it and to see, then we conclude whether this river is healthy or not. We are working in different rivers like Narmada and its tributaries in Madhya Pradesh. So this is how our laboratory students and our research scholars work in the field. See, fishes also play a very important role. They are the, as I have told earlier, told you that they are good source of food for humans also, but they also help um, in the uh, in the river ecosystem also. Here you will you can see a fish which is having its eggs in its mouth. This is actually an exotic fish. It is known as tilapia. So it is this fish is actually banned in India, but somehow it has entered in our ecosystem. So there are some invasive species, some exotic species which have entered our aquatic system, our terrestrial systems, and they are destroying the whole ecosystem. So we should be well aware of these exotic species. So I think we have discussed so many important things about the water bodies, and this is our whole team which is working not only in the scientific research, but they are also doing awareness programs with the help of students, school students, college students, and we are trying to create awareness about the rivers to keep them clean, to keep them flowing. So the only take home message is let them flow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Shivani, please conclude the session.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful and informative talk. Let me share some glimpse of this session. Dr. Vyas introduced the session by discussing river habitat, the home for biodiversity, and different types of streams and its orders up to 10 to 12, and discuss about watershed pattern of sub-basins with different stream orders. Further, he discussed about the land use and land cover pattern of catchment area for conservation of river. Further, he explained stream morphology such as longitudinal slope, dimension of cross section, meander pattern, and parameters for ecology integrity assessment such as physical, chemical, and biological for healthy water body. He concluded the session by discussing different parts of streams such as rivers, glides, flows, and discuss different types of substrate, riparian buffer zone, aquatic life cycle insects for healthy water body. Thank you, sir, once again. Uh, Further, now I request Dr. Satanand Mishra, Principal Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, and Coordinator CSIR Jigyasa Program to deliver vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Thank you, Shivani. जिज्ञासा। जिज्ञासा क्या है? एक कौतूहल मात्र, या सोच है मन की, या प्यास है जीवन की। क्या हो गर ए ना हो, क्या हो गर ए ना हो, समझ ना होगी, प्यार न होगा, जरूरत का एहसास न होगा, हम न होंगे, तुम न होंगे, ये सुंदर संसार न होगा। जिज्ञासा है आधार सभी का, जिज्ञासा है आधार सभी का, जिज्ञासा है सार सभी का। वास्तव में ये जिज्ञासा ही, ये जो चार पंक्तियां मैंने अभी पढ़ी, किसी कवि की कल्पना है। और इसी के सहारे आज हम सब स्टूडेंट और साइंटिस्ट, प्रोफेसर्स के बीच में जो संवाद है, ये जिज्ञासा के लिए ही है। और जिज्ञासा ही हमें विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में आगे बढ़ने की प्रेरणा देती है। और एक साइंटिस्ट या प्रोफेसर, डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर, आईएएस के लिए जिज्ञासा ही प्रबल रिस्पॉन्सिबल है। तो जो इस समय ड्यूटी हमारी वोट ऑफ थैंक्स, इसके लिए वी हैव ग्लैड टू हैव ह्यूज participation of the students and teachers in the popular lecture series. A huge participation and active interaction of students and teachers shows the grand success of the program. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. The aim was to cultivate the scientific temperament among the students, encourage them, provide a deep insight into the emerging technologies and their application in various fields. This can prove to be beneficial for the students. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude toward Dr. Avnish Kumar Srivastava, Director CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, for awarding me a chance to organize this popular lecture series and student-scientist interaction. On behalf of our director and entire institute, I would like to express my gratitude towards Professor Bipin Vyas, Dean and Faculty of Life Sciences, Bartullah University, Bhopal. Sir delivered his talk on the topic river ecology. Sir, you have introduced the session by discussing river habitat, the home of biodiversity and different types of streams and its orders up to 10 to 12, and discuss the watershed patterns of the subbasins with different streams, orders, and land use and land cover patterns of the catchment area for conservation of the river. Further explained stream morphology such as longitudinal slope, dimensions of cross section, pattern and parameters of ecological integrity assessment such as a physical, chemical, and biological. For healthy water body, on short time, you have accepted the invitation on your very busy schedule. It's my pride for us. I hope that students get benefited by your knowledge, views, and ideas. Thank you once again, sir. I convey my special thanks to Dr. Surinder Kumar, Senior Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, India, to deliver mesmerizing talk on topic nanotechnology, property, application, and recent innovations. Sir, you have started the session by introducing the concept of nanomaterials and history of nanotechnology. Further, you have discussed examples of environmental nanoparticles and different dimensions of nanomaterials, such as 0 dimension, 1 dimension, 2 and 3 dimension. Further, you have explained about properties of nanomaterials with suitable examples and their applications in different fields in biotechnology, defense, and nano, and many more. I hope that students get benefited by your knowledge, views, and ideas. Thank you once again, sir. I want to express my gratitude and heart to Mr. Somesh Srivastava, Deputy Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Bhopal Region, and Mr. Ashok Kumar Misra, Assistant Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Raipur Region. all deputy commissioners, assistant commissioners, principals, teachers, and students of KV for large number of participation. A big thank you to the participants who were the main pillars and made the program a success. I heartily convey my gratitude to the scientists and all the staff of CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal for making the program a success. I would also like to thank our IT team, Engineer Narendra Singh, Scientist, Engineer R.S. Airwar, Chief Scientist, and Dr. A.K. Singh, Chief Scientist, for providing enormous support for conducting the program. Last but not least, I convey my sincere thanks to our team, Shivani Pandey, Tanmay Sardar, Madhuram, and without her support, it is not possible to complete the program. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you once again to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.